Okay, hi everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this episode. We have Angel Aviles. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to have you. Thank you so much for being on here. We are waiting for Sparkles, who's trying to get in, but so glad to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I wish it were in person, to be honest.
Yes.
But I'm just glad to be here.
Yes, we talked maybe a couple months prior. It hasn't been too long.
It's been probably about 6 months, because
something like that
in May, right?
Yeah.
Last year, and we wanted to be out there and working it out in person, but then things happen.
Things happen for sure.
Yes. We're lucky that we have technology so that we can still get on and talk and shoot the chisme and do all
That's exactly. I'm just honored because I know when you messaged me, I was telling my producer, Rachel Mendez, who did my Queer Eye episode, I was like, you're never going to believe who just messaged me. And she was like, no, you are lying. And I'm like, no, seriously, like, I can't even believe it. Like, I grew up on Vida, Loca. Like, that was like, you didn't see us on any kind of screen, right? And I think that was the first time I ever saw something like myself, somebody representing like what we lived and who we were on the big screen.
Yeah, I am really honored to have been a part of that. And I think that as a young person, I didn't really understand the impact of that film until years later. We got a lot of criticism for making that film. It was stereotypical. Is Sparkles coming in?
She was, and then disappeared. So hopefully she'll get back.
Okay. So yeah, we got a lot of criticism and for kind of promoting stereotypes. But in the long run, I think the film continues to stand as a strong representation of culture and also just a snapshot of what was happening at that time.
Yeah.
We weren't being stereotypical. We were just showing life as it was in this particular instance in time.
Yeah, absolutely. So from that film, and you said you did get a lot of pushback, but it has become like an icon. I mean, just something that even generations now are showing. I'm showing my own kids, because it's just something so phenomenal that happened that didn't happen before. And it was like almost like one of those things that you set off this amazing light to be able to give to everybody, right?
Thank you. That's such an honor. Hi, Sparkles.
Good afternoon, ladies. So sorry.
You are good.
I said, well, I didn't think I had problems to answer yes.
We're just glad you joined us. And thank you. Welcome, Sparkles. And I love your shirt. I was just talking to Angel about hers, and love that you guys are representing your brand. I love it.
Yes, thank you so very much. And thank you for having us here. I'm so excited. What did I miss? What have I missed, gals?
We were just talking about Vida, Loca and how, it was a film that represented brown females on film, which to this day, like now with Vida and Gente, yes, we're really getting to see brown women represented in so many different ways, and it's such a beautiful thing. But at that time, which it was in the 90s, it was really, really rare to see us represented in film in that way. We were always the subtext. We were always the supporting character. If we were the supporting character, the maids, the
maid.
Yes.
With these women, yes, they were in a gang, but I think that the real story was several love stories put together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were really watching without judgment, you were just going to soak it up as what it was. It was beautiful stories knit together. and complex stories about love and betrayal and friendship and forgiveness and generational love, just so much.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, especially here in the Midwest, it was harder for us because, you just didn't see a lot of, that stuff here on TV. And then, we lived it. We were living like that. And we are, Mexican American Chicanas, doing the same thing that you guys are doing out here. And it's just like that representation of showing that, wow, it's not just us, there's a whole, we are somebody.
For sure. I think, Deanna, that we knew we were somebody, and it just took that one little entrance to get us all coming through.
Exactly. We have a lot of fans on here that they're sending in a lot of comments. I just want to show them real quick because Casey is loving you all very much. So Lorcita said, I'm honored just to be here and listen. Huge fan. Marisa said, just introduced her daughter, Alicia, to the movie last night. Elizabeth Lopez is like, this is so cool. And Angela's like, oh my God, my favorite movie. And Laura Cita's like, we saw Vida Loca at the Art movie theater in Mission, Kansas, and it was packed with Latinos from all over, and it was amazing.
And so from our perspective, because I was actually born and raised in New York, and I moved to LA in 1992. So I was a very young, influenced, woman, obviously influenced by Chicano culture. But I wondered what was happening in the mid part of America. Like, I felt a deep sense of what Latin culture was on the East Coast. And then I felt a deep sense of what Latin culture was on the West Coast. And we did what they call a press junket, and we covered the entire Southwest from California, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas. But we didn't go further east than that. So I wondered, where are my people? And thank you, Kansas City, for showing up. And thank you, Deanna, for doing something so amazing with your organization and really putting forth the culture. And not only that, but doing it in a way that really helps us to express ourselves artistically. I think that art expression saved my life. I'm an actor, obviously. I was a dancer. For many years. And if I didn't have that, I would have probably been in some kind of trouble in some kind of way. So I think you're doing such an incredible job advocating and evangelizing what art is and how important it is for us to be able to express ourselves through art.
I appreciate that so much. And I just have to thank you both because after that episode, it opened doors. And that's why I'm doing this now, is because I want to share everything that was given to me. And if I have, the opportunity to meet you both and to be able to share the amazingness that you gave me for a couple hours we were on Zoom, a couple days after the show aired, everybody should experience that, just because we're from the Midwest or you're from the West Coast or wherever, we all share something. And like you said, with the art, I would never have known that, Angel, had I not talked to you, had I not talked to Sparkles about the amazing work you all are doing out there in the West Coast that you are trying to bring out here to the Midwest, which we are going to do that. So can you guys talk a little bit about your organization and what you're doing, and definitely about your motivational speaking, because you all had me crying, and my husband, when we were on Zoom. So,
well, Angel, why don't you go on ahead and let them know a little bit about Living Firme, and I'll tell them how we met each other.
Well, so Living Firme, obviously, Living Firme.
Yes.
So, I try to explain what Firme is. It's like the best of the best, like the baddest, like the cream of the crop. And so Sparkles created Living Firme, and she'll tell you more about how that got started. But we started out doing just cultural events, and I really had been on a wellness journey for about 10 years. And that was something that I really wanted to incorporate into this business. And so we started doing these wellness workshops in the neighborhood, like going into the neighborhoods and just getting together with groups of people and introducing yoga and introducing meditation and introducing things that I feel were so integral to my mental health and my wellness. And it just took off. It went like wildfire. And we ended up getting contacted by a woman in probation. And she was like, we're doing this giant meeting. We have this annual meeting, and it's the entire state of California, and it's all the corrections officers. And I remember telling Sparkles, like, I don't know if it's a setup or what. I don't know why.
Are they trying to host us
there? And because one of the things too is that Sparkles and I, like, we really go for it. We want to help people to develop an orgullo for their culture. Whether you were a chola and you've been in trouble or not, or whether you have your degree and you're just finding out like an inkling about your culture, we don't want you to have to carry this burden of shame, because that's extra anxiety that we don't need to have. We want you to stand in who you are, learn to be proud, and in that way, once we have that, we find it so much easier to accept other people. We find it so much easier when we're not judging ourselves and we're not trying to prove ourselves in one way or another. We just accept who and what we are. It makes it so much easier. Long story short is that we ended up getting this contract with the board of the board of and state and county corrections department. And so we have these workshops for the corrections department, and we have probation officers and corrections, and we've gone into jails and
the inmates.
Wow.
A chance to work with inmates, and it's been an amazing process. But we always go in to disrupt. We always go in to disrupt what the status quo is, what people would think. We want to help people. We want to destigmatize, a winged eyeliner and hoops.
Yes.
And we want to do all of that and want to do it in a way that encourages wellness that's in an easily relatable language. And so that's what we do at Living Firme.
I love Living Firme.
Because it's not just a brand. You are building up our people, any human. You feel so good wearing the brand because it just makes you feel like I am me, right? This is me, and I'm comfortable being me, and I should wear the winged eyeliner, the hoops, the Cortezes. And if some days I just want to show up professional, do that too, right?
Exactly. Yes. Show up how you want and just be present. That's the most important part. I think that when we came into, agreement that we were going to start a business, there was one thing that Angel and I both really knew for sure, is that we were so adamant that we wanted to go into wherever we were going to attend or show up at, that we were there to allow people to know that all the stigma towards the cultura does not matter to us. You don't like the way we're showing up? It's okay. That, you are entitled to that, however you believe. But you know what? If you're going to be here for 2 hours to hear us speak, you are going to leave thinking differently. And we like, Angel was saying, we use the word disrupt. We let them know we are here to disrupt the way you think, because we want you to change your mindset of how we judge people, not just, ourselves as looking at other cultures, looking at us. No, our own culture, we are very hard on one another. Sometimes once we have a piece of paper on the wall, we think we're better.
Yes.
No, honey, we are all still the same. We just remember where we came from, and that's what we do. That's what we want to do. We let people know it's okay to be proud.
Yeah.
Yes, and that we often get asked like why we're promoting gang culture, and why. I think the last question was why do I Why do we show like ghetto writing? You know,
oh my God.
the old English is ghetto writing. And I said, you know, it's funny because in my mind, it's the complete opposite. I'm not promoting ignorance. What I'm promoting is an elevation of consciousness. See, I don't believe I have to abandon where I came from. In any tribe, there'll be tribal markings. There's a way of communication, and that communication doesn't always mean war. Sometimes it's just storytelling. And yes, I'm going to tell the story of the brown people in the hood because we need to dive a little bit deeper. If gangs exist, what systemic conditions exist for there need to be a gang, for there to be that for a gang?
Right? Amen, right there. That is so true, right there. Like you just dug deep into that questioning. I don't think I've never heard that. You just struck a chord in me right now when you just said that. Like, what is that?
What is it? And instead of just being superficial and saying those people, because those people, when we have a those and them against me and us, we're gonna not be able to create solutions that make big change.
Right, absolutely.
Right? Big change requires a big mind, big thinking, and a diversity of thinking. We've been fed a lot of stories that completely eliminate us as a people, as a culture, as an experience. And then years later, stuff comes up and you're like, hold on a second. That's the ancestral stuff that you're trying to feed us now. When you told us to not do that. When you told us that our rice and beans were inferior. And we learned that no, they're not. You know, so I think that I think people are surprised by what they hear when what the words that come out of these cholita faces. But I think it's important to show up and represent in that way. And to do it in a way that's not judgmental, but that is educational and of course fun, because we're all about having fun.
Yes. We like to bring a smile in everyone's face. Yes. When we talk about showing up and being present, you know, it's really interesting because it is how your mind makes the decision you're going to enter the room. And if we enter the room in fear, like, oh my gosh, you know, we're dressed differently from so-and-so. And what if I don't have enough education for this position, so I'm not going to even apply? No, what we're telling everybody is, don't worry, apply. Start applying yourself. Because sometimes you might be talking to the person in the elevator and you made a wonderful conversation. That happens to be the person you can go interview with. And you already built the relationship. It's allowing our gente to understand that we have the ability to start encouraging one another as we ought to. And that's what Living Firme is about. This business started as a reach out. Angel and I both love, our heart is really out in philanthropy. We love to help any community, whether they're homeless or just lacking a need, whatever it is, we do our best to try to help. We met at a reach out and we were distributing water that day. And I happened to be wearing this t-shirt that I have on now, my lucky t-shirt.
I love it.
It was done on a Cricut machine inside the dining room. Okay. And Angel asked me, because I had never met her before, and she says, do you make those t-shirts? I said, yes, I do. You sell them? I said, yes, I do. And I think
already in the mindset.
She gave me the money right then. Oh. We did the reach out together. We had an amazing time. And then truthfully, that was it. We ended up meeting one afternoon. She was wearing the tank top. She asked me, would you like to take a picture of me wearing the tank top? I said, sure. Photographed her. She put it on Instagram. And that day, it just went bonkers crazy. It was just like an exciting time for her to see, the movement of this. And her and I, our chemistry was amazing. We're just like, we loved a lot of the same things. We knew we were God-fearing women. Yes, we talk about our spiritual beliefs. And we love and respect many other people. You tell me you're Buddhist, I'm like, sit down right here, let's that's what we love. And I think that our relationship built this way. You know, we're into the Eastern meditation. We know we don't frown upon anything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I didn't have the fear to say something. She asked me, have you ever managed anyone before? I knew she wanted a manager for an actress. And I thought, well, I managed a clothing store. I managed a medical office in my mind. And so I said, yes. She says, well, would you like to manage me? I said, yes. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell? Why not hire me? I went home. Okay, now this is important. I went home and I Googled that evening how to manage an actress. I learned how to do it through Google. Guess what, y'all? Is when you have the mindset that you can do anything, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Never believing that I would end up managing her. We ended up turning our relationship into a really good business marriage, because we have this amazing business and we're always, just building. And it ended up doing something different, a workshop as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Sparkles, I would never have known that you did not know how to manage someone, because when you call me, I even get a little nervous. I'm like, I need to be on my game here, because she's going to ask me all the questions. She's going to ask me time, date, schedule, questions. I'm like, oh man, I ain't prepared for any of this.
Well, and that was the interesting thing, because Deanna, this is just to show you that if you have managed other things, it's just like applying all of that. Mm-hmm. So like if you're working at McDonald's right now, and please, I want you as a viewer, if you're working at Kentucky or wherever, and you're thinking to yourself like, man, I'm never going to do this. Mm-hmm. And you have a belief that you will, because all the stuff that you're learning how to do wherever you're at, you will put some of those things and apply it to wherever you want to go. And it's all education.
Yes.
Bits and pieces that you learn here and there. And I think that with our culture, it's important to encourage that wherever you're at now, you can grow.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question, because in Kansas City, and this is even me growing up, the crime rate here is very high. And it's been something that we can't seem to get a handle on. And I'm actually going to be talking to our Mayor Lucas, tomorrow with my co-host, Edgar Palacios, and for 20 minutes. And I'd love to get your feedback on, because I love what you said about, the gang culture and people's views and why we are in them. Because I grew up as a wannabe gang member, because I literally my family support system wasn't there. And when you try to find that family and people like you, and when you do become that, it's like, these people, why would I ever leave these people? I will do whatever for these people, because they are the only ones that love me, take care of me, have my back. So can you talk a little bit about what advice or what your workshops would do to maybe help or ease the situation that we have here in Kansas City?
Sure.
Well, I think that one of the problems, obviously, this is a very complex subject, right? There are so many issues that lead to crime, right? You've got poverty, mm-hmm. right? And the elements of poverty, we have to realize that we have to address that period, right? We have to address people's needs. So if someone's hungry, their needs have to be met. And they might slip into stealing, whatever. Mm-hmm. The other thing, mental health, right? Mental health, if somebody's not mentally healthy, they might be drug addiction. It might manifest itself in so many ways. So crime is very broad category. It would be irresponsible for us to even go into that specifically on a short call, because it's so complex. But that being said, once you do have an outline of some of the systemic issues that cause crime, and especially as they apply to your particular city, right? You look at the demographics, you look at the zip codes, you look at at exactly what the formulas are, then you start biting them off in chunks. For me, like I said, art did save my life. It gave me something. It allowed me. I came from a great family, but when I was 5, I was molested. And so that really did something to me. It sort of destroyed a piece of me. And I got very hard. As an artist, I felt like that was a safe space for me. It was a place of sanity. I grew up in the 80s in New York. There was a lot of crack. There was a lot of crime, a lot of violence, a lot of sexual violence toward women. So I as a result, I grew up kind of like crazy. If I didn't have my discipline, I would have easily, done whatever it took to feel protected. And so I do thank my art as being that thing.
Yeah.
But giving somebody the ability to just grow, express, and be good at something. Maybe they don't have to do it for a living, but just give them that way to express themselves. We have a lot built inside of us. There's a native culture story living inside of us. A spirit comes and drops you a story, and unless you tell that story, it's going to haunt your inside. And I think about that, and I think that feels so. It feels like if you live your purpose, you're going to constantly feel the need to do something different or something incomplete. So one of the things we really love doing is that we do love introducing the arts in our program. Mm-hmm. The arts as a way of, as one of the modalities of wellness. Mm-hmm. So do you call my bad?
It was like, that's the bell right there. No, I just love that because I feel like, especially coming from, you're not from Kansas City, but you guys do visit here, right? I think that's what you told me.
My brother lives in Kansas City.
Yes. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't get anybody stalking him at this point.
He did grow up in the same neighborhood I did, but so he'd probably be happy.
Yeah. Deanna.
Start that.
He's a comedian, and his name is Rod Reyes. So if you ever see him out there performing in Kansas City, you'll know that he's my brother.
That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect. I love that you have that connection here to the Midwest, because sometimes it is hard for people to understand, who's out here, what's out here. And I think I told you guys this story. I was on a podcast where they just thought it was flyover country and there were no Latinos here, which, being from the Midwest, you're like, we're all over the place.
We're everywhere. That's why it is important that people that are doing podcasts like this, that they continue to invite people like ourselves to go out and join us. And thank you for having us, because it is important that, just because you guys are out there, you're not forgotten. We know that you guys are buying, you guys are contributing to your cultura. We have a shop, an online shop, and we got a lot of sales, and they come from the Midwest and these different areas, because we know that there's a hunger, there's a need for that identification, that, hey, they identify with me. They are kind of classy, kind of chola. They are believing they're living Firme, and they want the Chicanos art. They want to attend, somewhere where they can have a place to go and feel like, oh, brown girls and brown men on the wall. And Deanna, real quickly regarding the situation with the gangs, I just want to talk to something. Angel and I, when we first started, we started doing what we call night markets. And we would literally go and I would study like the brands and stuff that people were just digging and thriving for and wanting. And I would speak with these people. I would let them know that, hey, you know what? We're going to have this night market, and we would invite them to come into, it was like a veterans of foreign wars, FW type of setting. And we would talk to the people and get all these different vendors, all Latinos, and they would invite their friends. And all of a sudden we have these amazing events, bringing all this beautiful artwork. where we can help each other and encourage one another. And you want to know something? We never had any gang violence. We never had any fights, never anything to do like that. Because you know what? I know for sure is we all want to be accepted and feel safe and be happy. And that's how you do it, by talking to your community and bringing them together and letting them know it's going to be a safe evening. Bring your children. And they do.
Yeah.
Generational sharing, like music. And also one of the things that I love about Sparkle, she's amazing at putting events together. And it was never just about me or the characters in Mi Vida Loca or Jesse Borrego, who is a superstar. I love him, and I've known him since I was a child. But she makes it about everybody. Sparkles makes everyone feel like a rock star because we all are. And we always say, we don't care. Everybody has a past, whether you talk about it or not, right? Whether you have people who have been in the pinta or you've been in the pinta, whatever the situation is, we all have a past. But we're here to tell you can let go of that. That does not have to define you. Who are you from this moment moving forward? And what possibility lives inside of you that you can make something amazing happen? And you can start in yourself, in your house. And from your house, you go to your neighbor's house. And from your neighbor's house, you go to downtown. Then you spread that shit like the corona. You know what I'm saying?
Yay, spread it like the corona. Just don't wear a mask from us.
We can create infectious positivity.
Yes.
And infectious positivity means that we become more accepting of ourselves. We forgive ourselves. We forgive the things that we've done. And we also understand that, you know what, we're forgiving the past and we're going to continue to make mistakes. We stay humble. We stay growing.
Yes, for sure.
And in that way, we can make massive, massive changes in our world and in the world around us. Because this world really needs a limpia. It needs Palo Santo.
Whatever you want to do, I don't care. I bring out my Bible, get some Jesus, whatever y'all want to do. But we just know one thing is that together we can do many things. Nothing's impossible. And that's one of the biggest joys of having us here today, Deanna, because we know you feel the same way. We've seen what you talked about, what you did on Queer Eye. We love that segment. I must have watched it maybe about 7 times. I'm like, I don't need to see this. And look at her liking Cortez. Like, I'm so jealous.
And I was thinking, why do you want to change her? She's perfect.
That's what everybody says. You know? I know. And it's so funny because everybody's like, you didn't have to change anything. Like, that was perfect.
I thought, well, damn, y'all looked amazing. But you want to know, it was such a blessing. It's such a blessing to Kansas City because it gave you that chance. And God does, you know, when he's doing his work, he does his thing, or whoever you want to believe in. Like I said, it's, you know, how you believe. But I know something amazing happened to you that day and for us as well, because look at, here we are talking with you.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm trying to keep it sharing, you know, because without that platform, I wouldn't be here right now, right? I wouldn't have this opportunity. And for you all to reach out was like, you opened your hearts because you didn't know me, you know, you didn't know what you were going to deal with on the other end. But you were so amazing to me and my husband. And for my husband to cry, that's a big deal.
We weren't going to talk about that.
I had to bring it up. I'm sorry.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's telling everything. I told her not to. She didn't know how to hold it in.
Like, these podcasts are over.
He's going to disconnect you right now.
He's probably watching. He's like, those are all lies. He's going to get on here and say all lies. But that's the one thing. It's like even the connection, it doesn't even matter if it's from the West Coast, wherever. It's just the human connecting piece that us here in Kansas City don't have, to be able to reach out, just like, you know, you're reaching out anywhere else, just to reach out and let them know, let you all know what we're doing here. Like, we have some phenomenal leaders here in Kansas City that have started centers like the Guadalupe Center, Maddie Rhodes. We have Jean Chavez, who I'm about to bring out here to talk about the roots. Sergio Diacosta, I just had on a little while ago to talk about, you know, our roots. We don't talk about it enough over here. And like you said, I think for us, we need to start banding together and really start bringing positivity amongst ourselves, so that way we heal and we grow here in Kansas City. And that's what I'm trying to do here, just to start this little tiny platform of where people can voice who they are and be honest about it, and have this community of people, like just the ones in the comments, you know, that say, I'm right there with you. You know, I feel you. I've been through this. You know, I want to help. Like, how do we make it better?
Yeah. And there's a lot of people are wondering, like, how do I start a business? Deanna, yes. If you give me just 1 second just to say this, because it is important, that if you're watching right now, and I share this all the time because it is the truth, you're out there and you're thinking, what am I doing? I'm out here in the middle of nothing. But you make amazing tamales. You make amazing burritos. You do some corn on the cob that nobody can make your corn. You can do things. If you are a body and fender man, a painter, whatever it is that you do, it's not impossible to start businesses. And that's what we tell. If you feel you're unhireable, then make yourself hireable by creating your own business, because right now is the time. I had someone tell me this one day, and it's the truth. The time is now. You don't need to wait. The time is now.
So can you guys talk a little bit about how you started Living Firme?
Angel?
So, like Sparkle said, we met on a reach out. We were doing a water. We were giving water to the homeless, and I was so impressed with Sparkle because, you know, we were collecting water, and Sparkle shows up with a flatbed full of water. Like, she went the extra mile. I was like, with my little 12 bottles and my little, you know, but she was like, she was gonna water people. And
more is better.
So we just instantly got along. And so like I said, like she mentioned, I was looking for a manager. A few years ago, Jesse Borrego called me and he was like, Carnala, you need to come here to Texas. There's this lady in Houston that has a shop inside of a flea market, and they are off the chain and they need you to come, and they want me Vida Loca. And I was like, okay. Now, I had been asked to do meet and greets, but I just was like, I wasn't ready. One, I wasn't ready emotionally, right? I wasn't ready to step into my own greatness. Well, I didn't know that Mi Vida Loca meant so much to so many people. I mean, I had a couple of people on Facebook and on MySpace, and, you know, people that, like, here and there, people would say, I love that movie. I love that movie. But I didn't realize the magnitude. And I don't want to get emotional here, but
you're going to make me emotional, because Mi Vida Loca means so much. And it's so crazy to say that. And unless you're like a family, unless you're us, like, you don't get it. But that movie meant a lot to a lot of us. Seriously. It's like your family, Angel.
It's true. It's true. And I mean, it just was so humbling. Long story short is I met with this woman who owns a shop in the flea market, and she is lovely. Her name is Margarita Sanchez. So as Sparkle says, when you have a passion for something, just dare to do it, because she has a passion for the culture. She was in Houston, one of the only shops of its kind in this flea market, where she just sells cultural items, and she creates these events, and she wants it to be special, and it is special. So I flew down there, and when I got there, the line was out the building.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I signed autographs for 6 hours, and I met people who had tattoos of sad girl on their body, and I held babies and I took pictures. And I was overwhelmed because people were crying and telling me, thank you for coming. And I knew then that I needed to incorporate this into my life. I needed to meet more people. It's not about me, right? It's that they love sad girls so much. They want a piece of her. So I have to give it. But I don't know how. And I don't have time because I have a family and I have a job and I need help. And so in order for me to do that, I was like, I need a manager, but I need a special kind of manager for this. This is not a Hollywood type gig. This is somebody that has to understand that I'm going to be showing up at lowrider shows, that I'm going to be showing up at, bars and movie theaters and drive-ins and, cultural centers and VFWs. And I meet Sparkles, and she totally gets it. And she's able to think ahead about the things that I need to feel safe when I go. And I've been able to travel all over the country without worrying about the zip code that I'm in, without worrying about my safety, because my people are there. And they're there to have a good time, and they're there to exchange stories with me and tell me things, and I'm taking pictures and I'm just enjoying the vibe. It's such great vibes. So essentially that's how Living Firme got started, because people were like, well, you don't have anything to sell? Well, how you're gonna leave us without, you don't have, and Jesse had pictures and I had nothing. So I said, Sparkles, I need some shirts. And I loved Kind of Classy, Kind of Chill. I was like, that's me. That's me. And so we just started with a couple of t-shirts. I had a girlfriend who does embroidery, and she called me one day and she was like, I need you to sell these for me. She had made all these bags and these bandanas, and I sold them in like literally 15 minutes. And then I realized, like, wow, I'm able to take this platform and I'm able to help more than myself, but I'm able to help my community. And so that's how Living Firme started, with an idea that when you buy from our brand, you don't just buy from us, you're buying from our community. Because we have a homegirl sewing stuff in Hawthorne that we're about to go pick up tonight.
We're gonna go pick them up.
Right? And we exchange, and Sparkles goes her way and I go my way. But everything is as local as we can make it. We use artists that are local, or we definitely want to stay within the culture. We're using artists who are so talented but maybe don't have a following. And we're able to, we have a community that we share the artwork with, we share the products with.
For sure.
And I think that's exactly why we connected so well, because when you talk about Sparkles, like when you tell that story right now, I get it, because that's kind of the way, I'm gonna start crying now too. That's kind of the way I've been doing mine, is because the people that are with me are the ones that have been with me before anything, right? When nobody wanted to hear me, nobody wanted to help my husband. We were just another family in Kansas City trying to make it. And these people held strong with me. And those are the people you want to help you, because I think it all goes back to your heart and your passion and your soul. And it's, so it's you talking about that and your relationship with Sparkles, and me not even knowing you all that well. I felt that, and I think too, with our culture, it's like, you want to lift them up. You want to help the people that are like family to you, because we all relate to each other in some way, whether or not you're Chicana, whether or not you're, from Brazil, whatever, but we have this connection that we just want to lift each other up. And I love the fact that you help the artists that aren't being followed. that's exactly who we are, the ones that are forgotten and doing such beautiful, beautiful work out there, and the ones that are doing the work in the community as well, that are just doing it for no recognition, but are out there just killing it for everybody.
Right. It is important, and it's important that we're strong believers in collaboration. When we started our business, we knew one thing for sure, is that we wanted to, this isn't just, trying to be like prejudiced. If you're listening, don't feel this way, but this is a decision we made as Latinas, that we wanted to continue to help the Latino community. So we went ahead and started collaborating. Oh, you do artwork? Well, we need your help here. Oh, you're a sewer? We need your help here. And we wanted everything to be done in the USA. Perfect. So that was an amazing experience itself, because it's important that we go on ahead. And now, right now with COVID, we're not being affected that our stuff's stuck in China or on a ship. Our stuff's made here, so we have full access. But one thing that we really are proud of is that it helps to encourage people. You can be working out of your home and making money. And I think that that's the important part, that a lot of people think that, this is impossible. It's not. We do this from our homes. When we say, we'll meet you at our office, because we have an amazing office in downtown LA on 7th and Figueroa. It's right by Starbucks. We meet, get our coffee over. We meet all our little fancy people. But you know what? Because we have been taught that you have to, have these offices. You have to have all these things. No, you can have your own little garage set up like a little tiendita. You can do whatever you want. It's just taking the time to start doing it. And that's why we want to continue to be asked to be on these broadcasting and podcasts, because we want people to understand that we can help encourage, but it's believing in yourself that you can do it. And that's why it is important, is that we do wellness workshops. We encourage, that's what we do. And we get to go speak to people that are actually instructors, doctors, and, they work for universities, and they need to be encouraged. It's crazy, but, it's just the truth. We're living in an era where we need to be reminded of who we are.
Absolutely. So can you give us a little bit, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know we've got about 10 minutes, about what you would bring to Kansas City when you guys come next year, because you guys are coming next year. We need you all here in Kansas City. I just love supporting you. You have supported me, and you have supported the work that I do, not even knowing me, and never meeting personally, and that means a lot. It really does. And I just love your brand and what you stand for. So what would you bring to Kansas City that could help us improve what we are doing, help us in any way?
Sparkles, you want to take this?
I'm going to see what I'm going to bring, and then you tell what you're going to bring. I'm going to bring y'all an amazing car show, because, it's important. We're going to have some beautiful cars there.
Yes.
We are going to have a nice gathering. We're going to have a lot of little taco shops and all kinds of little different vendors and all kinds of stuff like that, because it's amazing, because I want to see y'all. I want to see the work that Kansas is doing. But importantly, when we're there, we are going to go on ahead and have a chance to speak with y'all and let you know that we support wellness, that we know that wellness begins with ourselves. We encourage change. We encourage starting from your own being. And it's important that we also speak with other people and we encourage one another. And that's something that's forgotten a lot of times, that we have to help each other. And, sometimes we're really naughty as heck, but we're hanging out with a tribe that's really fucked up. And excuse my language. I don't know why I'm supposed to say that, but it's true.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. And you expect to change? No, y'all need to get tribes that are going to encourage you and lift you and encourage you. So that's what we start with. We start with the basics and build each other up. That's what I'm going to bring. What you bringing, Angel? What you going to bring, Angel?
we always bring a party. I mean, if you've ever seen any of our events, they are amazing. And it's just a celebration of culture and a celebration of self, of ourselves within that culture. One of the things I love is that I get to do a giant acting class for everyone. And I know that people are like, well, I'm not an actor. But one of the things that we do is we do this thing called fiesta. And it's an exercise your imagination to move your life forward. And it's so intense and fun and amazing. And I never thought that I would be able to merge the person I was with who I am today and really help so many people. So I'm so excited to bring you a class where you'll be able to use some fine art skills and use some word skills and use some physical skills to just express yourself in a way that feels amazing.
Right.
I love it.
Really sharing about our words.
Yeah.
So how I came up with the name Living Firme for our business is because I love me Martha Stewart.
Oh,
And I didn't know Mexican Martha Stewart. I love me some Oprah Winfrey. I'd be like, oh, I love Oprah. It had magazines, right? So I was just like, I'll read these magazines. I used to dream that this is what I would do. One day, Angel was going to go and film to be on a Me Too skit, and she needed a T-shirt. And she said, can you create something? I was thinking, well, what would it be? I said, well, she's living good. So she's living firme. And that's how I got that name. And she loved it so much. She says, this is what we should name our business. So that's how we got the name for our brand. But what powerful words, right?
Yeah.
Living Firme. That you're living the best life that you can wherever you're at.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the important things that we really work on in our workshops is reminding people that we can break people and we can make people with our words.
So this is something definitely that we're going to be working on starting now until we can get out of this COVID and hopefully bring you guys in 2021 for sure, since our foundation's closed for the rest of the year to protect our community. But we will be working on this. So if anybody in Kansas City wants to join in and help us bring Living Firme to Kansas City so we can have all this amazingness, I'm doing a shout out right now. So any organizations, any community people, anyone that just maybe doesn't, know if they should, just join us, because that's the only way that we're going to get people together to, like you guys said, just all of it, right? All of it. And I think that would be something very needed. And especially after this time, to get together and do something like that. And especially from other Latinas. I mean, how does that even get that's even better.
Right. It's the amazing collaborations.
So, Sparkles, you wanted to give a discount, and I have it here.
Yes, we love to give some discounts. Well, Angel gets a little upset because I just love to give everything. She gets all mad at me. But she agreed that we're going to give discounts out today.
Oh, there we go. And Angel, is that cup on your guys' site?
It is. This is cup. It's the Chola Namaste for our Chola Wellness series.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love the tatted hands.
And the Chola bands.
Yes.
And I have a cup that's going to be out.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. We're going to need to get that.
Yes, girl. Y'all recognize her?
Yes. We're going to have to put that out in the foundation so everybody can see.
For sure.
So if they use this code here, they can get a 10% discount on your site.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So everybody take note, and I'll also put it in the comments so that way people can see it. Any last words you want to give to Kansas City and all these? I mean, you guys had you have still more comments coming in. You got, we're here to help. Love that cup. Oh my God, I need the sad girl cup.
Yes. Now give us a hot minute. Angel's probably thinking, "Oh, we need to put that in the shop."
Oh.
So
I don't even have a picture of that cup. That's so new. She just got it yesterday. So I'm like, why? Well,
yes, but you know what? I get so excited. I just want to share everything. But yes, this is new. It's going to be in the shop. It'll be in there this evening. Okay. Just so y'all know, but
make sure.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be in there this evening. And how long is the discount for, Miss Angel?
It will be till next week.
Oh,
y'all can't wait. My payday's next week. I can afford you too, girl.
Yes. And we have like tote bags. This is like one of my favorite. It's a little naughty, but
I love that. Oh, I love it.
It's a little naughty.
It's the truth.
Me and another friend of mine have those shirt just with those words, and I wear it everywhere. So you know.
So we are in a town that has the mask order. We do have.
So we have somebody on here who actually ordered that mask. They said.
Oh, nice! Oh, thank you.
Thank you. That she ordered that mask.
Thank you.
She will wear it teaching. Ooh! Okay.
There you go. Now you get a discount. Now you can order another one.
There you go.
Deanna, thank you so much. I wear a small size 10 shoe. What size is your Nike Cortez, girl?
Those were incredible. We talked about that.
Girl, I don't even know where they got those from. I'll be completely honest. I've never seen them anywhere at all. But
those were custom. Those were beautiful.
But I have to give a shout out because my son is so in love with him. I have the 2 pairs of Mr. Cartoon Cortezes. I think I'm the only one in Kansas City who has them.
So I wanted my oldest daughter to get her first tattoo from him, but she went to some place in Venice with her friends. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
I would have loved
it. Impossible. That was like 10 years ago or 8 years ago. Now it's impossible to book time with him.
Yeah, at all.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could even afford him. You know, I just want to like be on his doorstep or something. Just, just see him from afar. That would be enough.
Arm under him and give him a pen.
Deanna, that's what happens when Sad Girl goes out to do a meet and greet. She'll be like, someone will say, "Oh, can you sign my name? Sign right here." And then they'll come back afterwards to another event. They'll be like, "Here, let me show you. I got a tattoo." And they tattoo her.
Oh.
I mean, they tattoo everything. They whoop out their boo-boos and everything. Oh. Like, oh my God. There's like, no, they're not just showing their teachings to everyone. But they're all tatted up everywhere.
I'm telling you, like you said, I mean, I hope you know, and I think you do, just how much inspiration you bring, Angel and Sparkles, just you being a part of that whole dynamicness of the both of you and bringing this product and the amazingness you're bringing all around, like even here to Kansas City, you have some amazing people here that are just looking up to you. And I can't wait to have you guys here. Do you guys want to give any parting words to Kansas City and all your fans?
Well, thank you so much for having us. We are so excited to meet you all in person. And I mean that really. Like, I am not going to go until it's COVID clear because we give hugs. Like, we're real people and we really love the fans that we meet. And once we get over the whole idea that I'm wearing Sad Girl's face, we become friends. And that's what it's all about. We become a community. And I can't wait to meet my community in KC. So also you can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. We're at Living Firme on both of those platforms. We also have some videos on YouTube. If you guys are new to us, You can follow us on any of those platforms. Sign up for our emails. We do email blasts and we do all kinds of stuff through there. And that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Al rato.
Well, I want to say I look forward to going out there because I want to see what y'all are going to bring. If y'all going to come to the table, because I know you guys are going to come out hard, because you should be proud of where you're at and where you're living. And it doesn't matter if it's not as big as LA or wherever. Don't compare yourself. Just come totally present. We're looking forward to seeing you all and meeting you all. And Deanna, thank you once again for inviting us. I had a great time.
I know. I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know. I'm not a very good podcaster. I'm just doing this on my own. Like, just, figuring it out.
Amazing, girl.
Thank you. Thank you both so much. And the comments are still coming in. So you guys just check it out. Comment back if you want. You guys are tagged on here. So you guys will be here in 2021. I know that for sure. And we're going to have a whole community out here welcoming you. So I'm so glad we did this. We're going to have you back again in September when we're doing the festival. So you can we can support you there, and you can bring some more products. And hopefully we can sell some more there and support you just like you're supporting us. So thank you so much. I love you both so much.
A rato.